Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's a tough time to be up here presenting when everyone is probably falling asleep. No? Well, we're going to be talking about some exciting things. So, my name is Sajani Barot. I'm the CEO and founder of the SkinConsult. Have you ever walked into a Sephora, or maybe you went online looking for a zit on your face and you need a treatment for that? Or maybe you're not happy with maybe how your stomach looks and you want to get that, make that look better. What would you do? I see a lot of women nodding their heads. Yes. So that was me over 10 years ago when my skin started breaking out and I was having tons of problems with it. I hopped from med spa to med spa, went to dermatology, spent a lot of money at Sephora, and I was completely lost and frustrated with that experience. It was not personalized at all. And that's why the SkinConsult was born. We launched our B2C platform in November of 2020. And since then, we have found that there's a huge growth opportunity for us to now release our new platform, which is an AI-enabled Shopify for healthcare providers, and the first aesthetic marketplace. The aesthetic marketplace, the market itself, is ripe for growth. I don't know if you walk down the streets even of Jackson, but there's a new med spa opening up on every corner. And because of the increased consumer demand, more and more healthcare providers, such as dentists, OBGYNs, GI doctors, ER physicians, general nurses, all becoming trained to open up med spas. It's the only place in medicine where you pay out of pocket and your insurance is not being considered. So it demands a trusted platform for consumers where you can find, discover, connect, and get personal recommendations and book services or buy products from these providers. Our all-in-one cloud solution solves many problems for not just the customers, but the paying customer, which is the med spas. By talking to so many providers, including med spas, we find that there is so much competition for them. And it's rightfully so, because there's so many out there. And it's hard to stand out on Google searches. There's no personalization there. One of the biggest problems a med spa has is converting your leads into paying customers. And then the second problem is bringing that customer back into your office. So they spend a lot of money on the traditional marketing channels that we all know of. But that's not enough. We know that customers need and want transparency in understanding what they need for their skin, what products they need, what is good for them. But at the same time, they want convenience. As a mom of 3, I don't have time to even go to Sephora, which is just down the street for me. I get Instacart to deliver my Sephora. So we're bringing convenience to consumers by building this all-in-one platform where you can get personal recommendations, and these businesses can sell to you directly. So you're not going from Yelp to Google to calling around and spending and wasting your time. Our B2C platform, like I mentioned, which is currently live and has been earning revenue, consists of over 16 skincare brands, many large medical-grade skincare lines, 40-plus providers across the nation, one in Canada, one in UK, and 1,500-plus customers have told us and validate the need of this integrative care commerce platform. We know e-commerce has grown significantly, and healthcare professionals should also have a commerce platform where they can sell their medical-grade skincare products, supplements, and packages for Botox and facials and so forth. This is a big market. It's a market size of 300 billion plus. The aesthetic space, which comprises of the med spas, is ripe to grow, and by 2030, we expect it to hit 142 billion. And that's just services, not even products. In terms of skincare e-commerce, I think we all can say and know confidently that e-commerce grew significantly in the last 2 years. But in the space of skincare, it grew tremendously. In fact, just recently, Google search trends showed that the last year and a half, med spa near me search term increased 15-fold. Our team is well suited to launch and execute this new platform, because we have been doing this for the past 2 years in this space, but also with our background from other companies that we have worked at. I myself have my doctorate in pharmacy and have spent over 14 years in the pharmaceutical industry, from big pharma to small pharma, launched 6 FDA-approved drugs, worked with large healthcare systems, and worked with physicians across different specialties. So I understand what it's like to speak to a decision maker in the med spa, but also how to sell to them. My co-founder, Sarah, who's here today, has over 10 years of experience in B2B sales, and hence will be leading the sales charge for the SaaS platform. Our co-founder, who's also our CTO and based in California, and hence he's not here today, Sergey, has a PhD in computer science, has released and worked on building several SaaS platforms. He has sold several of them, and has worked as chief product officers in those companies to help achieve product market fit. We also have a great team of advisors, from people like Dr. Tripathi, who is a well-known facial plastic surgeon and a med spa owner himself. Our market understanding that we have comes from numbers that we have seen so far. Our current B2C platform, without any paid spend and marketing, it has a $6,000 in revenue from product sales and virtual consultations. We have pre-sold our new platform to 3 med spas, and we have a growing database of customers and brands. We were also featured in Bloomberg just this summer and selected as the only company from the state as one of the top 50 companies that was launched during the pandemic. So we have identified a phased roadmap to this solution, done with due diligence. The first one being that we're on track to release our product by April of 2023, which will have a recommendation and matching provider marketplace, where providers can set up a commerce platform and then shop within minutes and start selling. Secondly, by talking to skincare brands and larger chains, we find that we can build APIs that they can put on their own websites to offer recommendations to patients that come to their site. And then lastly is more enhanced suite of booking and marketing tools that they can use to communicate with their patients. Our revenue model is a recurring revenue model where med spas pay a subscription fee, and there is e-commerce transaction fee for all products and packages sold through the marketplace. And then lastly, a lead gen fee for new patients acquired through the marketplace for these med spas. With a lot of feedback, research, and testing, we have landed our pricing model as well by talking to real customers that are giving us feedback. And this will be what we'll launch with in April, but we have room to grow and increase the prices here as well, as many softwares in this space can be priced much more than this. So with over capturing 25% of med spas in certain markets that we'll launch in, we hope to be at $20 million in revenue by year 5. And I would like to speak more in detail with all of you and those interested after this presentation. Should I keep going? Or are we at Q&A, or is that part done? Okay. Well, that's perfect. We'll use the rest of the slides for Q&A. Anyone want to talk about marketing?
Yeah, how are you doing in markets?
Perfect. Thank you.
Come on, help her out. Come on.
We have so much to say here, but yes, we have identified 3 ways, and one being aesthetic conferences are a great channel to meet with decision makers. Over my 14-some years in pharma, I have been to hundreds and hundreds of medical conferences, and I can tell you, aesthetic is the one place where there's so many conferences. I've never seen any specialty, including cardiology, which has a lot, have so many conferences. So that number 2 is channel partners. We're talking to 2 key partners to launch with, one being a skincare brand, and then the second being a company that sells facial machines. Hydrofacial is one of them that you guys might have heard of. So by aligning and integrating with them, we can get to the med spas and derms that use them much quicker. And then third is by getting our marketplace out to the bridal industry. You know, they are ripe to convert as they're, you know, looking for services for their big day. We can attract a lot of these customers early on in these spaces. And we're specifically planning to launch in Austin and LA. So you might, you know, in terms of competitors, there's a few companies out there and platforms that cater to this type of the customer. ZocDoc, which you may have heard about, is a large medical marketplace, but it does not have any sort of commerce or personalization, and it does not go into the med spa space. And then secondly, Aesthetic Pro, Zenoti, these are all typical SaaS companies that are patient management softwares for med spas specifically, and we're planning to build integration tools with those as well, so the spas that are using them can quickly integrate with this as well. And so we're truly standing out in terms of building a personalization structure that no one else can offer and giving them e-commerce tools so they can quickly start selling. All right, thank you.